Hello everyone, welcome to CANrace. I'm your host Bryce Turner. This weekend, the NASCAR Pinty Series, along with the Verizon IndyCar Series, Road to Indy, and more will take to the streets of Toronto Exhibition Place for the Honda Indy Toronto. And CANrace has you covered all weekend long. First, coming up on the pre-race show, NPS drivers Andrew Ranger, Alex Labbe, and Gary Klutt talk about this weekend's event. Also, a one-on-one interview with Indy Toronto president Jeff Atkinson. But first, an information update. In the news, Alex Labbe's number 32 team has been penalized after Circuit ICAR. The penalty is a result of unapproved modifications to the carburetor. Crew Chief Ronald Easton has been fined $2,500. Easton is suspended this weekend and until the fine is paid. He is also placed on NASCAR probation for the remainder of the year. Driver Alex Labbe and owner Elaine Lord Munir have been docked 18 driver and owner points respectively. Following his win at Circuit ICAR, Andrew Ranger has taken the points lead over Caden Lapsevich. Alex Labbe, DJ Kennington, and Kevin Lacroix round out the top 5. Note that these standings do not reflect the points penalty on Labbe. Saturday, it's the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. The race will take place at 3:50 p.m. with qualifying set for Friday at 5. TSN's 3 and 5 will air the event on July 23rd at 2:30 p.m., all times Eastern. RDS will broadcast the event at a yet-to-be-determined date and time. This weekend, the NASCAR Pinty Series will return to the Indy Toronto race weekend for the first time since 2011. In both previous events, in 2010 and 11, it was Andrew Ranger who took home the victory. Ranger has 2 wins so far this season and is leading in the standings. Meanwhile, Alex Labbe has won 3 of 4 poles so far in 2016 and has 1 victory. And NASCAR Next driver, Halton Hills, Ontario's Gary Klutt, will be making his first appearance in this event not far from his hometown. Ranger, Labbe, and Klutt spoke with CANrace about the Indy Toronto. What are you most looking forward to about the Indy Toronto?
Indy Toronto, it's a much fun track. Raced there in IndyCar before, Atlantic Series, and always do good there. So the last time we've been there in the NASCAR, I won both times. So it's a fun track, very challenging, but I think we can do something well there.
Almost everything. I mean, I've never been there, so it's my first time down there. We did pretty good on Mosport, so I think we got a pretty good program on the road course. So, I mean, just trying to learn the track as fast as possible, just trying to do the simulators and stuff, but it's nothing like the real track, so it's going to be a pretty big challenge.
The Toronto Indy, I've never been there before, so I don't know, I'm looking forward to the big back straight and the tight corners. I really like Three Rivers, so I think it'll be similar.
How important is the exposure for the series and you as a driver?
It's big, big events like that with almost 200,000 of people will be there, so it's good for the series, it's good for the driver, and this is perfect. This is a lot of fun.
It's really big. I mean, it's a big race. I'm from Quebec, and we got the GP3R. That's pretty big, and the street course. It's pretty big for us in Quebec. So in Toronto, it's gonna be pretty big for Ontario guys, and even for us guys in Quebec, all Canadian drivers. So it's gonna be a pretty good exposure for us.
I think it's huge for the series. It gets you in front of, we're on equal grounds with the Indy cars there, and I think we'll put on a pretty good show. And then for me, I've got a ton of friends in the city. A lot of my sponsors are in the city, so I'll have a lot of people out and looking to do well there.
Given the opportunity, would you like to try driving an IndyCar?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's nothing like our cars, but it must be a pretty nice experience. A lot of really fast, a lot of downforce, and it must be one day I would like to try it for sure.
100%. I'll race anything. I'd love to race an IndyCar. I mean, I grew up racing go-karts. It'd be like an old home almost.
You've driven in the IndyCar series before. What are the major differences between IndyCars and stock cars?
Oh my God, everything is a different car all the way. It's much heavy car than NASCAR, and the corner speed are not the same, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of challenge, and I'm ready for that one.
Last month, the winning paint scheme in the Design and IndyCar contest was unveiled outside Toronto's Union Station. Here you see the Go Transit themed scheme. At the unveiling, Indy Toronto president Jeff Atkinson joined CANrace for a one-on-one interview. I'm here with Jeff Atkinson, president of the Honda Indy Toronto. This is your first year as president. How has it been so far?
It has been a fun year. I know the big thing for us is, what we have here behind here today is a community event. We've been doing a lot to get in the community, and it's been a very important part of my, year run here in the Honda Indy Toronto. So really just trying to get back in the community and make sure we're connecting with event goers.
What is your history in racing?
So I've been in racing for the past decade. I've been with the Toronto car race at the time, the Toronto Grand Prix it was, or the Molson Grand Prix after the Molson Indy. And with that, spent some time with Champ Car World Series, working on the races in Denver and Las Vegas, and ultimately joined Kim Green and Kevin Savary with Green Savary Racing Promotions in 2008. So I've been racing for quite some time, and for me, it's really something I've developed a passion for.
Which series are in action at this year's Indy Toronto?
So we have a really diverse lineup. For us, it was very important to add the NASCAR Pinty series on the Saturday. So there are feature attraction on the Saturday, on the Sunday, the Verizon IndyCar series, but our lineup includes the Mazda Road to Indy, all three programs from the ladder system, and the Porsche GT3 Cup, and Stadium Super Trucks. I can't forget about them, which is really a crowd pleaser.
So we have stock cars, open wheelers, sports cars, trucks. How important is this variety?
So the diversity of the lineup is very important. We want to make sure that we have something for everyone, and that really relates to our off-track action too. It's so important for us to not only have the on-track action, but off-track entertainment, and really as well, when you're away from the racetrack, you have that diversity as it relates to our concessions, our vendors, and exhibitors.
The NASCAR Pinty Series is back for the first time since 2011. What does the series bring to this event?
The series brings a lot. For us, the NASCAR Pinty Series is a great entertainment series. It is a true shootout to win that race, and it's got a lot of Canada's top best drivers. It's got Alex Tagliani, Ranger as well, and for us, really just so important to have that kind of diversity from a Canadian standpoint of lineup on our racetrack.
And overall, who are some of the top Canadian drivers to watch for on race weekend?
So Alex Tagliani would be one of my favorite in the NASCAR Pinty Series, and then I gotta be a homer and say James Hinchcliffe for the Verizon IndyCar Series. But let's not forget, Garrett Grist and the Indy Lights and some of the other drivers competing in the Mazda Road to Indy.
And the track layout will be slightly different, especially with pit road. How will this affect racing action?
So, for us, racing action, the racetrack has really unchanged. There's some minor tweaks here and there from 9 to 11. Some areas are bigger, some areas a little smaller. But really, it's the pit lane action for the Verizon IndyCar Series which has changed. So the pit lane has always typically been on the south side or driver's right side of the racetrack, just after turn 10s and 11. Now pit lane enters at turn 9 and exits through 11. So that's been quite a change, and I'm sure our IndyCar drivers will experience that race weekend, July 15th to 17th.
And where can people find more info?
People can find more info at HondaIndy.com. Our race weekend's July 15th to 17th. Fan Friday is a great initiative put on by the Ontario Honda dealers in support of Make-A-Wish. We encourage everyone to come down to our event site and check it out on Friday, and then see the NASCAR Pinty Series on Saturday and Verizon IndyCar Series on Sunday.
Jeff Atkinson, president of the Honda Indy Toronto, thanks for speaking with me.
Thanks for your time.
Tune into CANrace and CJRU 1280 AM for coverage of the Honda Indy Toronto all weekend long. Friday will feature live updates from the track on CJRU's morning mixtape between 8 and 10 a.m. Then CANrace will provide a recap of the day's action Friday evening on my YouTube channel. CJRU will air a 3-minute update about the day's action at 8 and 9 p.m. Similarly, CANrace will provide updates on Saturday and Sunday evenings, as will CJRU at 8 and 9 p.m. on those days. Then Monday, tune in during the 9 a.m. hour of Morning Mixtape for a recap of the entire weekend on Motorsports Monday. That's Honda Indy Toronto coverage this weekend on CANrace and CJRU 1280 AM. Thanks for watching the CANrace Indy Toronto pre-race show. I'm Bryce Turner. Have a great day.